Hi and welcome to the Chickpea channel. I'm Trisha and behind the camera is David from Living Tech as usual. Now I'm going to make a dessert. Yay! I love desserts. I hope you love them too. Also, you could just call it a healthy snack if you'd rather do that, because it really is. This is whole food vegan, probably one of the most popular things that I feed my friends. Take some Medjool dates. You can use any date. Sometimes I use the less expensive pre-pitted dates. That'll save you some time. Just make sure you double or triple up on them compared to the recipe, because Medjool are pretty big. And Medjool come with normally with the pits in, so you're gonna have to pit them. The recipe that I put in the notes under the video, which is where I always put the recipes, I've been forgetting to mention, is for half of what I'm gonna make, because I always double the recipe. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is add about 10 Medjool dates to the food processor. I've got it on the full-size bowl because it's gonna work hard on these dates. Okay, so I gotta do, since I'm doubling, I have to do 16 to 20 of these. Next thing is going to be, the recipe is half a cup, I'm doubling, so I'm going to do a cup of nut butter. If you only have one nut butter that you're going to buy, I would recommend the raw almond butter. Raw nuts are just better if you can do that. But for this recipe, I like to mix a little bit of cashew butter in as well. For a creamier taste. And then I'm just gonna put it in with the Medjool dates in the food processor. You might wanna take it a little bit easy, check on it, because Medjool dates are gonna make the food processor work pretty hard, and you don't wanna burn it out. If you have a good food processor though, it'll stop. It won't wreck, but it'll stop, and then you're done until it's cooled down, which can be quite a while. So it doesn't like that. It's probably got a date stuck under the blade. So I'm just gonna check the blades. No problem. Yep, there's a date stuck under there. Once you get it started, it's no problem. You just gotta get it started. I could have helped it along by chopping the dates, but that's extra work, and I keep promising you that this will be easy, so I'm doing it the easiest way that I can think of. Before the majority of it gets too processed, I'm just going to make sure that I scrape down the sides. I'm going to switch spatulas, that one's not strong enough. I used my proper spatula a little earlier today, and I was too lazy to wash it. You also don't want to under-process, because the date pieces are too big and it doesn't come into this nice refined taste. You want it, it'll be kind of like you get little chunks of date. So the next thing will make it a little bit easier to process, because we're going to add some liquid in the form of vanilla. In a single recipe, you want to add 1 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm doubling, so I'm going to add 4, and I'm adding 4 because I love vanilla. A little bit of salt. I guess half a teaspoon if you're making the regular recipe, a teaspoon if you're doubling. I can measure. I just got it wet, so I'm going to estimate a teaspoon. Maybe just under a teaspoon. I'm using Himalayan salt. You can use sea salt. The coarse salts are nice. And the recipe calls for 1.5 cups. I'm going to put 3 cups. These are raw pecans. You can use roasted pecans. I like raw pecans. Again, nuts when they're raw, they retain more of their nutrients. So if you like the taste just as much, go ahead and get raw. Same when you buy the nut butter, get raw if you have the choice. Here you go. Perfect. So there's one fancy optional step that is, you would reserve 1/3 of the nut. So if you're making the regular recipe, you put a cup in of the step I just did. Then the other 1/2 cup would have been, you have to crumble it first, so you have crumbs of the pecans. You do all the mixing, and then afterwards you roll them in the crumbs. I find that's more work, and it doesn't improve the taste, and I don't think it really improves the look. You'll see that these are quite nice to look at. Now it's time to get your hands dirty. My hands are clean, and they're going to get dirty. We're going to use a tin. This double recipe fills a tin that size almost completely. They last, I mean, if you want them ultimate freshness, they last probably a week easily, but you can take a little longer to eat them. There's no ingredients in there that they're going to go rotten. It's not like you have greens in there or fresh fruits. You've got, you know, the dates, and nuts generally last a long time. Even if they've been made into crumbs, they're going to last a long time. Generally speaking, when you think of nuts, if you leave them out of the fridge, just say a bag of whole walnuts, assuming that they were sold to you fresh, they're going to stay good out of the fridge for 3 months. You can tell when they're going a little rancid because they taste sharp, too sharp. You won't like it. Then if you keep them in the fridge, if you have room in your fridge, they will stay for 6 months. I am being observed by my dog, who's not a big eater at all, but he likes these. These are not a dog treat that you would make and give to your dog, but if some happens to fall on the floor, or you just happen to hand some to your dog while you're eating one, it's fine for them. All the ingredients in there are fine for dogs. Just don't overdo it. Just a little piece if you really have to. This guy's gonna get a piece because he's making me feel really guilty right now. Thanks for watching the Chickpea channel. Please press the subscribe button and the like button and sign up for notifications. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.